Okay, I like what you've already done here, okay? And what I'm going to do is to show you, let me hit my click on this. I took your Clicky Copy, okay? Just took it. And I duplicated it. And then this is what I created from it, okay? Just to get the darks that are in here. Now, how I did that was this way. So I wanted, like you have here, the flower, okay, with the leaves, but we need the darks in the leaves, okay? And then there's a real easy way to do the rest of this, okay? It doesn't have to look exactly like this, okay? So I'm going to show you kind of a quick way to make it look right. So I'm going to reduplicate that. Now I'm going to take the time on the reduplicated one to do this. So I want you to take your lasso. Just click to go into your lasso tool. I'll show you the top one. Okay, right there. And we're going to use Edit Content Aware and the clone stamp to fill. So I'll show you how we're going to do this. So I'll start with this down here. So I'm going to take the lasso and just give about 1/8 of an inch. See how I'm going around the word Disney here? Because I just want to remove it from the artwork. So I'm just going as close as I can to it. It doesn't have to be perfect at all. Okay, now I've surrounded that. See how I'm selected on that Clicky Copy right there. Okay, now I'm going to go into Edit, Fill, which is Shift F5, and I'm going to choose Content Aware, and I'm going to let Content Aware remove that. See how it did? Okay, so if I need to use the clone stamp, I will. Now I'm going to take out one letter at a time. So watch how I just take the lasso, and I'll go around this just as best I can. It doesn't have to be perfect at all. Okay, I just don't want to leave anything of the E left. Now that's good enough around there. Shift F5 is Content Aware. I just click and you can see it took it out. So we're going to continue this. So I'm going to save the file every time I do a good one, and I'm going to take the lasso, and this is where we're going to need a little bit of the clone stamp to help. Okay, so watch. So I'm going to take the B around the bottom, just around the bottom of the B, and I'm going to go around the B, not the other letters, and just connect it like that. Now, it's not going to do a very good job. So Shift F5, and let's just hit the return key. Now you see how it messed up the top. Okay, so leave the selection active. Leave the selection active. Once you do that, hit the S key for clone stamp. Okay, now put the flow up to 100. See it? The flow is up to 100. Now I'm going to Alt-click and just grab a texture that's right around here. So I Alt-clicked right there, and I'm just going to click. I'm not even going to drag. I'm just going to click. So you see how I'm replacing that texture right there. Now, it doesn't have to be perfect. There's no reason why it has to be perfect, but let me see if I can find a darker side or like this. So I'm going to go close to this, okay? I'm going to make this smaller with my bracket keys, and I'm going to grab this dark right there. See it? So I'm going to Alt-click that part. Now let's go over here and just Alt-click the edge so it has some darks on it. It doesn't have to be perfect because the words are going to oh, and I have to tell you, when you're in the clone stamp, Deanna, uncheck aligned. Uncheck aligned. So up to 100 on the flow and uncheck aligned. Now I can use it, and you can see how I can just put dark on that edge. Okay, see how nice that was? Now when I deselect, you wouldn't even know it. Okay, so now let's go to the and the. So I hit the lasso, the L key, and I come around this area right here. I'm going to start over. I don't mind that stuff. So I'm going to come around the D right here, okay, and come around this and just grab that H and just come right up to the top. Again, Shift F5, Content Aware, boom. Now, let's take the same clone stamp. So I'm hitting the S key, and I'm going to make it a little bit larger, and I'm going to grab this, I'm going to Alt-click right about here, right there, and I'm just going to put a little bit of that tone back in there. Now watch when I back off and I deselect. It doesn't have to be pretty. I'm just trying to get rid of the words that are in there so I can grab the darks. So I can color range the darks and put it in your art. So watch this. Let's go around the A. Just be patient, okay? And that now I'll switch to the one that I finished in a second. I'll just come around the A like this. I might have to do it twice just to get part of the A. Now there's the A. Shift F5, hit the return key, gone. Now let's take the clone stamp, the S key. Just grab a dark anywhere. Just grab that value, like right there. I'll make the brush even bigger. Just Option or Alt click right there, and now let go and just fill it in. There. Now I've got that filled in. Let's deselect. Okay, let's go around this. So see how patient I'm being? So now I can go around and I'll try it around the whole top. So I'm going to take the whole top at one time. I'm just coming around where I think the leaf is here. So let's now come across here. I may need to fix some of that, but let's come around like this. There, see how I'm doing that? Okay. Around like this, around like this. It doesn't have to be pretty, it just has to be relatively good. So you see the selection that I made, Shift F5, and now we fill it in. Now I need to go make the S key. It's not going to look great, but it doesn't matter again. So I'm going to Alt click right there, and I'm just going to click up here and just fill this in. I'm not dragging, I'm just filling. Okay, now I'm going to deselect. Now when I get back on that, it looks fine. Okay, it looks fine. So let's now finish the S. So let's go into the lasso tool. Let's grab this S right here. Let me go around this area. Might as well even do the T and see if that works. So let's go around this, down to here. And now this is going to be plenty, I think, to just get the darks that I need. So Shift F5. Hit the return key, and that should now, we have to clone stamp that big white area out. So I'm going to hit the S key, go find a nice dark area like down here, and I'm going to make the brush smaller, Alt click right there, and let's just fill this in like that. Okay, so that wasn't a big deal. See how we've gotten rid of all the lettering there? Okay, so now I am going to use, let me turn off all of this. I'm going to name this one Use, just so I don't mess it up. So now we're going to try to grab a dark from this. So I need your path, or I need the selection. Let me see if you have it at the bottom or in paths. Where did I do with my paths? So paths are right here. Let me see if you have that path there. Yes, you do. Beautiful. So I'm going to make a selection of that path, right? The one right there, right? Make a selection of it. Click to the one I just made. Okay. Now let's enter color range just so we can get the dark in there. So I'm going to go to Select Color Range. Now let's grab that dark tone. There. It's right there. Now I'm going to come down on this. See how I'm coming down to about 100 on this? Okay, I'm going to click OK. Now I don't even need to save this. Okay, I don't need to save it because I'm only going to use it one time. I'm making the color a little bit darker. Now where do I paint it? Well, I need to paint it. Maybe I better save it because I have to go deselect. Sorry about that, but let's go to Select and save selection as 3 leaves. Just so I know which one it is. Okay, now I can click back to the main image. Oh, I see what happened here. I have to explain something to you. You can only save, I have to go back to your file. You can only save 59 of these. You can only save 59. So I have to get rid of a couple here. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of some of the top ones. See this? I'm going to take these and throw these away. You don't need these anymore. So I'm going to throw these away. Okay, because you can only save 59. After that, it opens up a file, and it just is very distracting. Okay, so now I should be able to save that selection, okay, in this file. So let me just click to the layer. Hope that wasn't confusing, but when it opens up a new file, just go throw away some of the old ones and then repeat the process. So let's go to Save Selection, and that's something that you needed to learn. So let's go 3 leaves. Now, it's at the bottom. Okay, so I can remake this. See the 3 leaves down here? It's right there. See? Okay, I'll just click over here again. So I'm going to deselect. Now, why did I do that? Because I need to find what layer this is on. So I'm going to hit the V key. Okay, I'm going to deselect and right-hand click so I can go over your artwork with the Move tool, right-hand click, and it's going to take me right to the leaves stand. Okay, so you can see I didn't have to guess where that was. See? Okay, so I'm going to put a layer above it and say dark. Did you follow that? So I hope you did. It's just the Move tool, right-hand click, go to leaf stand, and now I'm on that layer. Okay, so now I'm just going to put in dark. Okay, now I'm going to go back and make a selection. Now I'm going to hit Command or Control H to hide the selection, grab my paintbrush. You can see I'm painting with a flow of 10. Now, the reason I did all this is because we need to get the darks in here. So do you see how I'm painting the darks on top? Okay, just when the lettering goes over there, it needed that dark to really make sense of it. Now look, when I get back on this, look how nice that looks. Okay, now that's okay. It's fine the way it is. Let me turn on the regular Clicky Copy. All right, that's fine. I'm happy with that because the lettering is going to cover it up. Now you're saying, well, Brian, where's the lettering? Okay, I went to the internet and I typed in Disney Beauty and the Beast logo. I'm just going to use one of these logos. It doesn't have to match perfectly. It just has to be one of these logos. So I'm going to save this to my desktop as soon as I find something that has the word Disney in it, and it might even be a PNG. That one would work, but I'd like it to be dark, so I think I had found one earlier. Let me see. Oh, no. Okay, there it is. Disney Beauty and the Beast logo. That's fine. That's going to be good. Okay, so I'm going to click it. Now over here, I'm going to right-hand click and save image to my desktop. So I'm going to save the image. I'll click my desktop so it saves it right on the desktop. Now I'm going to minimize this screen, okay? And now on the stand, I'm going to put in a top layer and call it logo. Now, how do we paint this? Well, let's look at the finish. It's just in a gray. So let's just do a gray and a white on it. So at least it comes off of your painting. Okay, so let's go to the, I'm going to hide Photoshop for a second. Let's go to the desktop. See the Beauty and the Beast logo? Okay, this is good for you to learn. I'm going to double click it. And now I need the selection of this. So I'm going to first duplicate this layer. So I have to, I have to, if you ever get a file from the internet, that's not very pretty. I'm going to first, I have to take it, you see the word index right there? You can hardly see it, but that means it's locked. So I have to go to Image, Mode, and I have to change it to grayscale, okay? Or RGB color, but I'm going to change it to grayscale. Now that lets me actually do what I want. I can actually go right-hand click and duplicate it. Indexed file, for you to learn, is a locked file, but you can unlock it quickly like I did. You just go to Image, Mode, and change it from indexed to grayscale. Okay, so before I send this anywhere, I'm going to go to image size, and I'm going to take the 72 here, right, and change it to 300 so it's cleaner. Okay, at least that's somewhat cleaner. That'll look fine. Now let's right-hand click and duplicate that layer to your file. Okay, now I can close this and not save it. I don't even have to save it. Now, there it is. So now we have to shrink it so it fits on and where it's supposed to go. So I need to turn this off. Okay, so I have to make a selection of this. So I'm going to use the Beauty and the Beast black to make a selection. I'll show you how I do it. So I click on that right here, hit Control T, and nope, I have to tell you what just happened. Remember when I had a selection active? Well, Control T thought, here, I'll show you. Remember that selection here? Brian never deselected. That's the only reason why Control T didn't work. So I'm going to Control D or deselect. Now I'm going to hit Control T, and you can see how I can just hold, just grab the edge and shrink it to put it where it's supposed to go here, and let's just get the size kind of right. So let me turn on this, and I'm going to take this for a minute. Okay, watch what I do. And I'm going to move it up above the clicky copies so I can see it. Now I'm going to put it on an opacity so I can see through it, so I can size it to where it needs to be. Now I'm turning on your clicky copy. So you can see there's Beauty and the Beast. Okay, so let me take the V key and put this kind of in the same place. Let's Control T it and shrink it a little bit more. Make it wider, so I have to hold the Shift key to make this wider. Isn't that cool? And now you can see how I have it. No, it's not ready yet. So I'm just going to shrink it some more. And let's make it wider. So I hold the Shift key and make it wider. There. Now that is going to look okay on there because it's going to be white anyway. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect. Now that's what I'm going to do right there. So we are going to raise the opacity back up. Now if I'm selected on that layer and I use the magic wand, where's my magic wand? Okay, so here is the magic wand. Let's go into the magic wand and just choose it. It's the third one down right there. Now in the magic wand, I'm going to get close to the black, and let me tell you that you need contiguous off. See in the magic wand up here? Turn off contiguous. That means it'll grab all the black, not just the one shape of the black. So now I'm going to click again, and I've got all of it. See it? See how nice this is? Okay, so now we're going to turn this off. Good. And I'm going to turn off the clicky copy. Good. Now I'm going down to the logo layer. I'm just going to fill it with a gray. So I'm going to take the B key and I'm going to grab that gray right there. And if it's not the right gray, we'll make it the right gray. So I'm going to hit Option or Alt Backspace. There's my lettering. Okay. Now obviously I need to move this logo higher because it's behind that leaf that you started to paint. So I'm going to move it all the way up to just below there. Now it needs a Bevel and Emboss dark. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to deselect. So see how pretty that is? Let's go to the logo, which that's the logo, right? Let's do a dark drop. So I'm going to see if one of these works. And I'm saying if because I want to try it. So let's go to Bevel and Emboss. And let's just do, is it Bevel and Emboss I want? I think so. Now I just want to put in a dark. So let's go close to it. And we have to take the size away like this. There. That's beautiful. Now look how nice that comes off. And I'm going to go down with it. So I need to take the direction. See the direction here? I need to put it up towards about 11 o'clock. And maybe I need to hit up. Yes, that's it. Okay, so there it is. There's your lettering. And I think it's pretty. So I'm going to click OK. Now, I think that that's gorgeous. Now when I get back on it, it reads perfectly. Now if you want to, you can take a little bit of opacity away from it. See, now you can see through it, and meaning you can see the leaves through it. And that's how I think you should do this file. Okay, so I'm going to take the logo away. You can see that we started with this, and I made it into that, right, by using the lasso and edit fill with content aware. And then when I didn't like what it did, I used the S key, the clone stamp, at 100% to alt-click where I wanted, and then I just filled in to make it somewhat good. And then I'm going to turn that off. Then I need to turn that off. Then I needed to take and put in that dark, which is, I think it's a big deal that dark's there. And I needed to get the dark without the lettering there. And that's it. So now I'll turn on the logo, and I think that's fine. Let me know what you think.